This story is based on the enduring maritime mystery of the Flannan Isles lighthouse keepers, who vanished without a trace in 1900. The unlit light of Ailenmore, the relief vessel Hesperus, cut through the churning gray waters of the North Atlantic. It was December 26, 1900. A few days behind schedule due to bad weather, Captain James Harvey trained his spyglass on Ailenmore, the small, remote island that was their destination. A knot of unease tightened in his stomach. "There's no flag on the staff," he said to the man beside him, Joseph Moore. "And the light is out." For a lighthouse keeper, failing to display the flag upon a ship's approach was strange, but failing to keep the light burning was the gravest sin of their profession. It was unthinkable. As they drew closer, the island remained eerily silent. No one emerged from the lighthouse perched high on the cliff. No one came down the steep stone steps to the landing platform to catch the ropes. Joseph Moore, the relief keeper meant to take his turn on the island, was the first to go ashore. The silence was absolute, broken only by the cries of gulls and the crashing of waves against the rocks below. Moore climbed a long stairway to the top. He found the lighthouse entrance gate closed and the main door unlocked. He pushed it open and stepped inside. "Hello," Icayed out, his voice swallowed by the cold stone interior. "Marshal? Duke?" No answer. The first strange sign was in the entrance hall. Of the 3 heavy, oilskin coats used for weathering fierce storms, only one remained hanging on its hook. This meant 2 of the keepers, Thomas Marshall and James Duquette, had gone outside. But the 3rd man, Donald MacArthur, had seemingly gone out without an act of insanity in the brutal North Atlantic weather. In the kitchen, the scene was even more unsettling. A half-eaten meal of salted mutton and pickles sat on the table. A chair was knocked over, as if someone had sprung from their seat in a sudden rush of alarm. The kitchen clock, like all the other clocks in the lighthouse, had stopped. The final and most chilling discovery was the lighthouse logbook. The entries for the past few days were bizarre. On December 12th, Keeper Thomas Marshall wrote of a storm with winds, the like of which I have never seen. He noted that James Duquette had been very quiet and that Donald MacArthur, a famously tough and seasoned sailor, had been crying. Another entry described the men praying and huddled together as the storm raged. This was deeply strange, as no storms were reported in the area on those days. The seas had been rough, but not unusually so. What storm were they writing about? The last entry, written on December 15th, was stark and simple. "Storm ended. Sea calm. God is over all." After that, nothing. The slate for daily tasks was clean. The lamps were trimmed and refilled, ready to be lit. Everything was in perfect order, except for the men themselves. They were gone. Captain Harvey and his crew searched every inch of the barren, windswept island. They found no bodies, no clues, no sign of what could have happened. The official conclusion was that the men had gone down to the western landing during a storm to secure a supply crate and had been swept away by a massive freak wave, but that theory never felt right. Why would one man go out without his coat? Why was the chair knocked over? And what of the strange logbook entries, describing a terrifying phantom storm that no one else had seen? The light on Ailenmore was relight by Joseph Moore, but the island held its secret. The 3 keepers had vanished from a locked room on an island in the middle of the sea, leaving behind only an uneaten meal, an overturned chair, and a story that defies explanation. Imagine this: a lighthouse, a lonely sentinel in the vast, gray North Atlantic, has gone dark. It's December 26th, 1900. The relief ship Hesperus arrives at the Flannan Isles to find no welcoming light, no flag on the staff, and an eerie, unnatural silence. A relief keeper, Joseph Moore, goes ashore. He finds the lighthouse door unlocked. Inside, a half-eaten meal sits on the table. A chair is knocked over, and the clocks have all stopped. 2 of the 3 keepers' heavy oilskin coats are missing, but one man, Donald MacArthur, seemingly ventured into the brutal weather without his. The most chilling discovery is the logbook. It speaks of a terrifying, phantom storm that no one else reported. A storm so fierce it made a famously tough sailor weep. The final entry reads, "Storm ended. Sea calm. God is over all." After that, nothing. The three men, Thomas Marshall, James Ducat, and Donald MacArthur, were never seen again. They vanished, leaving only a locked room mystery on a remote island. What do you think happened? Let me know in the comments, and follow for more strange stories.